Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for the week of January 30th through February 5th, 2024. This is a reading for you if you are an Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising, or have some other significant Aquarius placement in your chart. If you are new to this channel, welcome. It's very good to have you here. I do hope this reading resonates with you, and if it does, please do give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you would like, and do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so that you don't miss any of these videos, which come out at some point on Mondays. I try for Monday morning. I'm actually recording this one on Monday morning because I had a headache yesterday and didn't really get through very many videos yesterday, but hopefully this will be up by noon Eastern Standard Time, New York time on Monday. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. It's good to have you back again, and I hope this is a good reading for you this week as well. And if you look in the description below, I have just a link to my website, liminalreiki.com, where I do my spiritual coaching, my social media links, Transition Life Coaching, in particular, transition.life.coaching on Instagram, and just those three words, on and just Transition Life Coaching is 3 different words on Facebook. And also a link to my PayPal donation link. Sometimes people do like to leave me a donation for these readings. Obviously, nobody is obliged to do that. But if it's something that interests you, then that link is there as well. And I just want to say thank you very much to those of you who have donated, because that's all very helpful. Okay, so all that little business out of the way, if you're not familiar with my readings, I do astrological spread according to the 12 houses of astrology. And that's my interpretations. So this is, remember, this is a general reading. So if there's a certain aspect of something I'm saying and you're saying, well, that's not going on in my life, then that may not be the aspect that applies to you. Okay, there's different aspects here, and each house it covers different territory, as you're going to see. So it may, for example, the 5th house has to do with creativity, children, and love affairs. Well, if you don't have children, obviously that doesn't apply to you, or if a child's not involved with something. If you're not in a love affair or looking for one, that aspect also doesn't apply to you. But I'm going to cover all the aspects because it's a general reading, and then you can decide what to take and what to leave. So obviously, maybe not everything is going to be for you, but see what the general tone is. I use Cartouche, this Egyptian deck, as the first layer that I do in this reading, and I clarify with the tarot deck. This week we are using the Druidcraft Tarot. And I'm also going to clarify with a oracle, and this week's oracle is the Gateway Oracle by Denise Linn. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, first house is Aries. It's Mars energy, and this has to do with the self. You, how other people see you, how you want to be seen, your personal branding, the things you identify with, the persona or the mask that you identify with, who you think you are in the world, how you present yourself to the world. And we have the Ankh with the Princess of Cups, which is the equivalent of the Page of Cups. And so yeah, so this is actually, this is good. This is actually fairly, very, very happy. This would suggest somebody who's certainly coming across as somebody who's living their best life, living the dream, very much coming from an emotional space with the Page of Cups. As Aquarius, you would, the Aquarian aspect of your chart is going to be a little bit friendly but detached. So this is definitely more of an emotional component to it. So you may be very strongly in your feelings about something. A princess is like a page, so this may be something new, or this may be the birth of new feelings about a situation, okay? So yeah, there's this sense here that you are, that you are coming into this space where you are focused, certainly one where you are focused not only on where your heart is. I would say this is being about more in the heart than in the head, and about what really matters to you. And that makes a lot of sense because Pluto has moved into Aquarius. And while Pluto can cause a lot of upset in a particular area where it goes, as we've seen with Pluto going through Capricorn, it's showing us all the shadowy underbelly of all of what we think of as all the good ethical qualities of Capricorn. It can do the same thing with Aquarius. But I feel like for a lot of you who are Aquarius Sun or have a strong Aquarius influence in your chart, that this is going to represent you expanding your horizons and focusing a bit more on where your heart is rather than on kind of the thing you're obligated to do or supposed to do, which is what we see with Capricorn energy. There's the idea of what that Saturnian sense of discipline and routine and measuredness. And this has more to do with thinking outside the box. So I don't know. I feel like you're getting ready to come into your element, and this may have a strong emotional impact on you. There could be other things causing this emotional impact as well. We'll see as we go through the reading. Now, the second house is Taurus energy. So this is Venus. This has to do with finances. It has to do with your personal finance. It can have to do with your possessions, things that you value. And okay, so you have, I have to cover this up because of the YouTube does not like nudity on things. We have the Star and we have the Isis card. So, okay, Star is Aquarius energy. This is your own energy. And the Star generally, again, there's this idea of kind of a new healing space, new beginning, gaining of wishes, okay? The Star is filled with possibilities. It can indicate vulnerability at times as well. And again, seeing this with Isis, we've got two very strong emotional things, both in the area of how you're presenting yourself and in the area of what's practical, like your personal finances and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like you may be thinking outside the box, Aquarius. You may be looking at possibilities. And Isis here would have to do with doing things I feel like this is a card of self-care, okay? This can be about you taking care of yourself. There's a strong nurturing energy to this, strong motherly kind of energy. So I don't know if that makes sense for somebody. But yeah, but there's that element of that here. And I would think as a piece of advice, when Isis comes up, it can indicate perseverance in something. A situation that may require some patience to get to where you want, because again, the Star, this is like your tower moment has passed. Any crisis that you've had has passed, and now you can start looking at possibilities that, there's a chance to, if you feel like things have broken down recently, there's definitely a chance to rebuild. Some patience may be required though. But yeah, so far we're seeing this very strong emotional element here, which I find interesting. Okay, third house, this is Gemini energy, and Gemini has to do with, how do I put it? Gemini is messages, communications, things associated with Mercury. So technology, communications, travel, short-term travel, really, not long-term travel. And not deeper thought. Like, this is not about the meaning of life kind of thinking. This is more about you're thinking about maybe your life goals or something like that. If you're in your own business, that is also an aspect of this house. And this house is also connected to brother-sister relationships. So that if you have brothers and sisters, that may apply. Okay, so we've got Seth. Now, Seth shows up when there is either an obstacle, a problem, or an anxiety. It's a storm bringer, okay? So you could have gotten a message recently that has left you unsettled. This could have something to do with business for some of you. Maybe you feel like there's a block or an obstacle to something that you're trying to do. There's just, generally this just feels like, for some of you, this could be technology gone wrong. The things we normally associate with Mercury retrograde, but Mercury retrograde is past now. Like we're even out of the post-shadow zone, so that's not going to be the influence there. We have the card explaining Seth, because you always pull an explanatory card when you get Seth in this deck, is Osiris. So Osiris has to do with stability, has to do with judgment and leadership. So I don't know, so maybe you've been getting messages lately that are putting you in doubt about either your own ability to solve a problem or maybe somebody else's. This could be somebody who's either Aries or Sagittarius. Maybe you've got some messages that are, and again, does not have to be, let me just be clear about that. But this has strong Emperor vibe to it. So there's a strong vibe of, just being solid, being secure. And you have it with the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like there may be situations that are going on. Like I said, if this is your own business, you may be evaluating the growth of that business and saying, is it worth it? Am I getting to the place that I need to get to? You may feel like there's been some delays, like maybe some plan that you've had that's not happening, or maybe you've gotten you're waiting for messages about something, maybe trying to make sure that you have a solid foundation in something. And right now there's this sense of you feeling like, I don't know. One version of this card in the more esoteric decks, they call it the card of failure, but it's not a card of failure. It's a card of looking back at things and saying, well, I've put all this effort in, and was it worth it? Okay. And for some people, they think like, oh, I put all this effort in, but it's time to walk away. However, if this has to do with a financial issue, remember we have Isis over here. So again, it is telling you this is a situation in which you are not there yet, because the other aspect of Seven of Pentacles that we see is the aspect of patience. It's like, okay, you are building something, your garden is growing, so to speak, but the harvest is not here yet. So I feel very strongly that things are actually okay, that things are actually stable, even though maybe you feel like things are not moving as fast as you want or the way that you want right now. Maybe you feel like you've been taking some losses recently. But there's definitely this sense of being patient. And the fact that you have the star here in your money house, if this is a message about money, then it's saying things are going to be fine. You're literally on the verge of getting what you want. So you've just got to wait for that moment to come. Okay, fourth house. This is Cancer energy. This has to do with home, family, literally the space in which you live. It can also have to do with sense of security. Okay, so if it doesn't have to do with the physical home space, if it doesn't actually have to do with family members, it may have to do with just your own sense of security. Okay, so we have water with the Four of Wands. Okay, now we've got 1 + 3 is 4. Okay. And we've got a 4 down here. So for some of you, the number 4 is significant with relationship to a family or a home situation, or maybe a situation with someone's mother, because this is also the mother house. But this is, okay, 4 of Wands is a gateway card. As you can see, there's like an 11-11 here. There's 2 wands and 2 wands, right? And there's like a gate to be passed through here. And there's a path that leads us onto this, this next place, this, to this home, to this safe place over here. Or you could look at it the other way. You could be moving away from that space and moving through it and coming out, okay? So the pathway, yeah, I feel like you are at a point where you have accomplished things. You are satisfied with what you've accomplished. You're looking to kind of rest on your laurels. You're looking to be secure in what you're doing. But there's a sense that this moment of security, it's a 4, it's not a 9, it's not a 10. You're not at the end yet. Similar with the 7 of Pentacles here, you're not at the end yet. You've accomplished certain things, or there's a certain maybe amount of stability where you've been, which has been fine, but there's a sense of moving on. And water is also about movement and change. It's weird. You've got kind of almost this similar vibe here between the look of these two, right? But this is about movement and change. For some of you, this is literally moving. You may literally be saying, okay, it's time for you to pick up and move somewhere. This card can also have to do with water here. It may also have to do with, how can I put this? If you're not physically moving, this definitely indicates a situation that's moving and changing. There's something related to your home or a family situation where it's time for you to move on to the next thing. Now, if that's not physically moving home, it's moving on in some other way. It could be a changing family situation or dynamic. Maybe somebody in your family is moving. Maybe your mother is. I don't know. There's this whole thing about movement. And nonetheless, what has made you feel secure for a while, it is really time to move on to the next thing. So strong sense of movement and change here. And again, water. Given that we've got a lot of water so far in this chart, I feel like there's a strong emotional component connected to this as well. So I feel like what's going on here may be connected to your feelings about your sense of security, okay? And where your heart actually is. Fifth house is Leo energy, and Leo is about, well, it's about recreation, okay? It's about having fun, but it's about creativity. It's about people, can have to do with children if you have children, or maybe if there's other children in your family, nieces, nephews, something like that, that might be a factor. It can also have to do with love affairs. So if you are dating somebody, if you are single and looking for love, that would be an aspect that you would look at here. Okay, and so we have Anubis with the 5 of Cups. So I feel like there's been a loss here for somebody. 5 of Cups is, you see this person looking at the water, looking down, looking rather sad. There's 3 spilled cups in front of them, but there's 2 standing ones behind it. So there's a situation here in which all is not lost. I mean, this could be a relationship that's had its time and is going by, but that doesn't mean there won't be future relationships or that there won't be other opportunities. We also have Anubis here. So with Anubis, I feel like there's like protection here, like somebody protecting their heart. I feel like this is almost like keeping a stiff upper lip on things, or just, well, really Anubis is just more about taking the rough with the smooth, like being able to navigate a situation, having a sense of humor about things. It could actually be a literal trip for some of you. Maybe some of you are, trying to move past something by taking a trip. That's not going to be for everybody, but that is possible here. If this has to do with a creative project or even with a situation with a child, the same thing. There's some sense of either loss or looking at what you don't have anymore, or what's not there. And there's definitely a sense here that you need to, again, there's this sense of this gateway, you know, you're moving on to something new. You don't want to hang on to the past, I guess, is really the fundamental thing. Whether you're talking about a project, whether you're talking about a person, there's definitely, or if you're just looking for love and not finding it, it may be saying you need to let go of the past so you can move forward. And with Anubis, yeah, there's a strong vibe of protection here. But I think this also could be saying, if you're not feeling safe in a situation, if you're feeling that emotional vulnerability, like we see over here with the star, it is saying that you are protected. So, yeah, even with the Osiris card over here, there could be certain things that maybe you don't feel. So this could be a project that's not moving ahead. Maybe this is maybe there's been some disappointment in connection with a trip or something, like something you were doing for leisure, for fun, or like I said, with a love affair or with a child situation. Whatever it is, there's definitely a sense of needing to let go of the past and understanding that you are protected moving forward. Okay, 6th house. This is Virgo energy. Virgo has to do with, this is also mercurial, I think, in the way that it is. And so it's got to do with a job that you might have, okay? Something that you do, somebody who you work for, or something that you're doing in service to others. It can have to do with your health. It can also have to do with things that you're worried about, anxiety, and sometimes it has to do with pets. So you can decide if that applies. We have Crook and Flail with the 6 of Swords. Okay, so for as far as worry goes, this is a good sign because 6 of Swords is moving away from anxiety, okay? Yeah, and with Anubis here as well, I feel like that's another aspect of that. This could have to do with literal travel or literal move for some of you. We have this, and again, this Crook and Flail energy, which is very, very disciplined. There's this idea of getting focused, getting things together. This is a card of respect, of promotion. So for some of you, this could be a job promotion. There's expertise of being seen as an expert or as an authority or as somebody who's mature. Crook and Flail is definitely connected to all of that. Sometimes it has to do with legal matters as well. So if there's some kind of a legal thing going on with a job or something you're concerned about, there definitely is a feeling here that you're moving into a calmer space here. And again, for some of you, this could also indicate a literal trip across water. Maybe that's something you're concerned about right now, like, you know, what's going to be involved. If there are people who are thinking of moving overseas, certainly you would be thinking about the legal logistics of it amongst everything else. So I don't know. I feel like this is a time here where you are getting organized for something. You're either just moving away from an anxious situation, or you may be getting prepared to make an actual move. Or like I said, there could be some of a kind of promotion or boost as far as your career or your job, or really more job here in what you're doing. And tends to also be increased visibility with Crook and Flail. So some situation in which maybe you're being seen more. And, you know, even if we're getting certain things that we want, there always can be a certain amount of attendant anxiety with it. So, yeah, so take that as it applies. Okay, now the next house is relates to relationships. It's Libra. So Libra energy, this is Venus. This has to do with marriages, okay, so long-term relationships. And any kind of legalized partnership, a business partnership of some kind, anything where you're entering into contracts. And this, I find that this house can apply to, you know, relationships to family and stuff as well. But usually there's some kind of legal element or tie there. And okay, you have Nephthys with the 7 of Cups. All right, so seeing the 5 of Cups down here, I feel like maybe there has been a relationship where, yeah, maybe you believed more was going to happen with it than actually did. 7 of Cups usually indicates something that maybe has proven to be an illusion. So if you're somebody who's been looking for marriage, let's say you've been dating somebody or pursuing someone and you think that this was going to go into a marriage relationship, what this is basically telling me is if that is your situation watching this reading, then you haven't met the person who's right for you yet. Either that or this particular person isn't ready yet, okay? It could go either way. But with the 7 of Cups, I feel like you may have been imagining, you know, there's a dreaminess, there's like a fantasy element to this card. So you may be imagining that more is going on here than actually is. So, yeah, or maybe, you know, and again, a lot of times when we really want to be involved with somebody, we may project our feelings onto them. So if we're madly in love with somebody, and let's just say they're not doing anything, they're not responding back, but we start looking for things to say, yeah, oh, but they did this, or they said this way, or they did that. We do things to kind of make ourselves believe that something's going on. So either something's not going on yet, or this just isn't the right person, okay? So yeah, so that is a message for somebody. We do have a number 7 here. We have 7 of Cups, and we have the 7 here. We also have the 7 over here. So yeah, number 7 seems to be important for you in this reading so far this week. I'm just trying to see if there's any other ones. Yeah, so I don't know. There could just be a situation. Maybe that's the bad news you've gotten over here. Maybe there's something that you had over in a message that you didn't like. So I don't know. There could be. It could just be that there's a situation here where there's somebody again that you. I mean, I feel like with 7 of Cups too, you often have a lot of possibilities. This could also be something that's online. But I just feel like these two cards together suggest there may be a situation that was not what it appeared to be. And certainly either it's just somebody who's not right for you, or it's just something that is not ready to manifest right now. So yeah, so take that as it resonates. But if you're already married, if you're already in a situation, or then you're saying, well, that doesn't apply to me, then there certainly seems to be some kind of a situation here that is not what it appears to be. Whether it's you and your spouse maybe have a goal or want to do something, and it's just not coming to fruition. You may need to reevaluate, or if it's a business partnership, you may need to reevaluate, because some of what you are basing things on may be illusory, or it may not be what it appears to be. So definitely get the facts on a situation here, if that's the case. Okay. 8th house, this is Scorpio energy. So Scorpio is energy of transformation. This is about big transformations. Okay, so this is a much deeper house. This has to do with life and death, bigger things, also with other people's money. So you have the Queen of Pentacles with Lotus. Okay, so there definitely seems to be a focus on security, grounding, feeling comfortable, feeling at home. Queen of Pentacles definitely has this vibe of abundance, having enough to share with others, having this sense of being able to, what do I want to put it? There's a very strong, comforting earth energy associated with this. This could represent an earth sign woman, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But I just feel like this is about wanting, again, there's that emotional component to it that we're seeing here. So there's this idea of being both materially and emotionally secure in a way, okay? Maybe also focusing on your health and things like that, trying to get yourself in a solid place, both emotionally and materially. And yeah, and with Lotus, there's definitely the need to calm anxiety, calm stress, calm voices from the outside. And again, we have a number 7. 1 + 6 is 7. You've got a lot of 7s in here. So I don't know. There's some situation where you definitely want to center, you want to ground. I would say that's definitely the energy here. I feel like, you've got this 7 of Pentacles energy, you've got this Isis energy. It says to be patient. So I feel like with maybe some of the things you're trying to move ahead in your life right now, it's basically saying, try not to worry about where you are. Think you are going to progress. It's just that, you have, again, this just says to me, there's a situation where maybe you need to worry first about making yourself feel secure and get your own foundation. And then you're going to see how all these other things may fall into place. But I feel like you want to get yourself settled and your feet on the ground. This may be saying that any changes you may be worried about, there's largely going to be a peaceful continuity and a sense of security. So so that's good news if you have been uncertain about something of a material nature particularly, but more generally about maybe your goals and so forth, or about relationships. Okay, 9th house is Sagittarius energy. So this has to do with long distance travel. This has to do with people who are in school, okay? So higher education, educational institutions, religious institutions, anything having to do with the deeper mind, higher learning. So this could be about an educational course you take up. You might be a teacher. This could apply to you here. Some kind of an educational establishment. Like I said, long distance travel, sometimes legal matters in this house as well, and just generally the expansion of your horizons. This is Jupiter energy. And we have Ta with The Emperor. Okay, so double, well, no, actually, this card is Aries, this card is Capricorn. So, yeah, when you put those energies together, you're definitely talking about, this is you sort of taking charge and building something. Now, whether this is something you're trying to build overseas at a distance, and I say that because we've got the water card down here. For some of you, this may be a matter of a move or building a new foundation or setting something up abroad. For others, this may be having to do with your education, again, or expanding your horizons or something like that. There's this sense here of taking charge, putting your energy and your action into building new structures and foundations. I mean, Ta is the master maker, okay, is the mason of the gods, the creator of the universe, certainly in Egyptian mythology. And so, yeah, so there's this idea, this strong idea with the Emperor of creation. So for some of you, you may be creating something educational, connected to education, or you may be using your education to create something. Or again, this may have something to do with something going on at a distance. So take that as it resonates, but very, very strong energy of doing and manifesting and taking leadership in a situation. Now, this is opposite the 9th house. So I do feel like for some of you, and being Osiris is very similar to the Emperor here, it may be that something in this more short-term space, like this is coming about, but Ta is about building a structure. So it's something that will take some time. You can't build a structure overnight that's going to sustain anything. So I feel like that's, you just need to continue to use all the good qualities of leadership and problem solving and all of that with this card appearing. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn. This is a Saturn energy. It's career, fame, reputation, how the world sees you. You have Hathor with the Queen of Swords. Okay, so for some of you, if this is a woman watching this reading, or somebody who identifies as, okay, let's just say generally somebody who identifies as female, this is definitely, this is very strong, take charge, female energy, no nonsense. Let's get clear about what we're doing. Let's be logical and practical. Let's get all the details sorted out. Hathor in the 10th house is a very strong, strong, efficient, organized kind of person who is going to put a lot of their energy into building their career. Now, this is feminine energy, not the masculine energy of Ta, but this is using feminine energy towards that. Saturn is in Pisces right now, so this may be a sense of allowing your dreams and your, this kind of emotional stuff that's going on here, figuring out how you're going to manifest it, perhaps in a very methodical and logical kind of way. Queen of Swords also just indicates kind of trying to look through all the nonsense. We've got this 7 of Cups here. If this has to do with a business partnership, if this particular the situation here has to do this, can't pick this card up. If Nephthys and the 7 of Cups have to do with a business partnership, then this would be absolutely getting clear about a situation and cutting through all the nonsense, okay? Yeah, so this is somebody who has experience, somebody who's picking themselves up and moving on. Maybe if there's been, because sometimes Queen of Swords can bring a past sorrowful situation, but nonetheless, this is just somebody who's very clear, very intelligent, and very much on the ball. So this is certainly how you're perceived, and certainly this is going to be the road that you are taking now to moving forward. It's interesting that we're seeing it with all this emotional energy, but this could be fueled by an emotional situation. Like you may just, sometimes we have emotional things happen to us, and then we say, right, okay, we're gonna get clear, we're gonna focus on this in a rational manner. We're going to take, even though, because you're Aquarius, you easily can detach from the situation and just try to look at it from a very objective standpoint. So that seems to be what's going on here. By the way, if it's not a woman watching this reading, if this is somebody who identifies as male watching this reading, then Hathor with the Queen of Swords would suggest to me that there could be a woman who is actually helpful or influential here, or you may be taking on some of these qualities yourself in trying to move ahead with whatever you're moving ahead with. Okay, this is your own house, Aquarius, 11th house, so this is about friendship. It's about your social networks. It's about your dreams, goals, your destiny. Okay, now you have Wing Disc with the 4 of Cups. Okay, so 4 of Cups is, again, there's this idea, like we had the 5 of Cups down here somewhere, yeah. Which for some of you, maybe this has to do with a creative project, could have to do with a friendship or something. But there's a sense here of, you see this person on this card, if you can see them. There's a kind of a glare here. They're looking at these 3 cups very intently, but as you can see, there's this other cup behind them. This is saying don't miss an opportunity, because you have an opportunity to achieve your goals. Winged disc in the 11th house is wishes granted, okay? This is the sun disc. This is definitely a happiness thing. This is overcoming obstacles, so this is great. So again, you don't want to be looking too much to maybe what's been lost or what's not working out or what you perceive as a negative. Look to the opportunities that you have here. This may include looking at people in your social network. Maybe there's going to be people who help you get to this point. But nonetheless, you're definitely on track to win. And of course, we have the star here too in this house. So I don't know. I feel like whatever kind of sorrow here, maybe there has been sorrow around a relationship or something, or maybe a relationship has been a focus. I see that in the center. Or maybe you're just feeling, actually what's coming into my mind for some of you, there may be a discouragement about a relationship. Maybe you think a relationship's not going to go anywhere, but you're not giving it time. That's another possibility here. Yeah, a lot of that 7 energy. We do have some 4s, but we do have the 7s as well. I don't know. Definitely you are on track to get what you want, even if you're not getting it right now. It just may be taking a little bit of time. So that's actually a good sign, Aquarius. That indicates that you'll overcome obstacles and that you are on track to get your wish. 12th house is Pisces energy. Pisces is about what's hidden, what you don't show to people, what you don't want people, things you may even hide from yourself. But this is also maybe about what you're afraid of, or maybe what you're repressing in some way. Okay, and so we have fire with the 2 of Pentacles. Now, 2 of Pentacles comes up when, you see this woman juggling here. It's usually when we feel like we're carrying things, and maybe we feel like at some point we have to drop something. 2 of Pentacles, though, is also a card. Generally, in some versions, certainly in the Rider-Waite-Smith version, this is shown with like an infinity sign around it, the 2 pentacles. So it's almost like it's not so much that we have to make a choice between 2 things, but that we're kind of flowing back and forth between 2 things, which is the way of the universe. It's not so much that we have to pick a side. It's not diametrically opposed. It's that sometimes we're going to be here and sometimes we're going to be here, okay? And so this is a natural flow. And fire is about burning things up, resolving things, getting fired up, having the passion to do something, the effort. There's a lot of water here, so I don't know if a lot of this water has been dampening your passion for something or has been dampening your energy. Sometimes this comes up when maybe we feel a little bit overwhelmed, or maybe we feel like we do have to make choices, and there may be some choices that you have to make. But overall, I think, because also you've got 11, that's 1 + 1 is 2. This is a 2, and you've got the same element in the center of your reading. So choice is definitely, I think, a part of this for some of you. There's a lot of 2 energy as well. But it may be a situation where you have to wait for more information and make your choices. But I feel like this is saying that unconsciously, you are going to be inspired to do what you need to do to resolve any problems. We saw the resolution of problems over here. And I feel like this is saying that, whatever you're juggling right now, if there's something that needs to be put down or a decision that needs to be made, you're going to make it. I just think that, you may be worried about the implications of that right now, or whether or not you're going to successfully do that. What effect maybe it's going to have on your energy or on your inspiration. But again, this is the house of fear. And right now you're kind of in an emotional space here. It's interesting that we have Ankh and the Princess of Cups across from the 7 of Cups and Nephthys. Because, I don't know, this is just really interesting, because these are almost 2 opposite things. This is almost like saying we're very much in love, and this is almost like saying we're very, that this love may be an illusion in some fashion. But I think if the love actually was an illusion, then this wouldn't be showing up this way. It would be saying, like, you'd get like Princess, you'd get like the Ankh with like the tower, like, oh, you're in this loving space and you're about to be disappointed. But I'm not seeing that. So it's interesting. And overall, I say this because you've got the twins and the 2 of Cups. So a relationship situation, now whether this is a love relationship, whether this is some other kind of partnership, significant friendship, or something like that, there's definitely the sense of working with someone or a partnership or getting together with someone that is at the center of your reading. So I don't know. There's for those of you who say are already married, in a good situation, everything's fine. I would say that this means that there's going to be some kind of partnership, maybe with somebody who you know, not only admire maybe or want to work with in a practical sense, but maybe somebody who also like in a personal sense. But there's this strong, the fact that the twins shows up, this is showing up twice, basically. This could have to do with choices, but I don't know. I see this more as partnering rather than choice. The twins is not, even though we connect it with Gemini in Cartouche, Gemini, like the Lover's card, would have to do with choosing between two sides. I don't feel like this is a choice here. I feel like this is getting together with someone, working with someone. So I don't know. You may be feeling like this is illusory at this point, but it's not. Okay, there is a partnership that is up and coming. There's strong feminine energy here. Like I have the princess, I see the queen, I see another queen. So I don't know. This could be a partnership with a female, although we also have the emperor here, and we do have Osiris. So there could be, you know, I guess it could go either way. But there's definitely a strong energy, maybe of masculine and feminine working together in this sense. So there could be a partnership between you and whatever, you know, whoever is the opposite sex. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, but there's this energy. I'm seeing these other people sort of coming in. So I think there's going to be people who are going to come to help you. I mean, you are seeing this. And again, the Four of Cups, it's saying, though, you may not want to miss this opportunity. This is not something you may not want to look just to the negatives of the situation or what hasn't arrived yet. The seven being an overall number in this reading, along with 2, I feel like there's choices. And 7s are, I mean, they do bring challenges. The 7s in tarot are all about that stage before you know, the 8s, 9s, and the 10s are kind of moving us towards completion and moving on. The 7 is like the stage just before that, okay? It can have to do with where we worry about like sabotage from other people with the 7 of Swords, where 7 of Pentacles, where we're evaluating whether or not our efforts have been worth it. 7 of Cups, where we're thinking, or is this all an illusion, or all these, or what I see real? And then you have the 7 of Wands, which is kind of like, you know, I feel like I'm defending my position of where I am against other people. So it's almost like the 7s are like these outside influences trying to decide what's real and what's not real. Am I on the right path? Am I not on the right path? I do feel like there's decisions to be made, and I do feel like there's people who are going to be helping you with that. So let's pull a Gateway Oracle card for you and see what ties this together. So Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know? Try not to shuffle it on this table, because this table is, with the camera on it, it tends to vibrate when I'm shuffling. So you get to see all this like bounciness here. Let's see. So Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know? Let's see who wants to, here we go. Okay. Proceeding softly. That's your card for this week. And it says, my inner power grows in moments of quietude. Okay. And interesting that we have Queen of Pentacles and Lotus here. So there is definitely a need to calm the mind, to let other external voices stop telling you what's real and what's not real. And for you to get very clear about where your heart is, about what you feel. And this is where you want to make your decisions from. I feel like there may be a lot of other people and situations here that may be making you doubt yourself and what you're doing. But both of your, if this has to do with a job, then both of your career houses, you're definitely on a good track in terms of job. I feel like there may have been some messages or communications that are maybe throwing you off a little bit. But again, if these are situations where you want to be patient, you definitely have this potential with the star to reach your goals financially, to gain your wishes up here. So yeah, I feel like you have been focusing more on the negatives rather than what you actually do have going for you. So maybe you want to take stock of that. And I do feel like your success is going to come with the help of somebody else. So and now just at the end, I'm not so sure for those of you who are looking for somebody. I just feel like maybe you may be feeling hopeless about a situation right now, that it's going to turn into anything. Maybe something is taking too long. But again, I feel like Nepenthes can mean it's not the person, but I also kind of feel like there's a not yet thing. Like you've had some kind of disappointment and you're not seeing what it is that you have here. Like I feel like you can rely on whatever your judgment has been about this. So yeah, a lot of places where you may be questioning yourself, Aquarius, but it's just letting you know you're on the right track, and you want to, yeah, you don't need to charge ahead, proceed softly, but also be true to what your heart's telling you. Okay, so that's it for this week. I hope this reading was helpful. If you found it helpful, do please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you choose. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell notification so you get these readings every Monday. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.